Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Popke, Director of Public Affairs for the Packers, working today on behalf of the Packers Hall of Fame Incorporated to congratulate and have a media session with two upcoming inductees to the Packers Hall of Fame, Jordy Nelson and Josh Sitton. The way this is going to work today, we're going to have some introductory remarks from Packers Hall of Fame Incorporated President Tom Conup, and then we'll hear from Jordy, and then we'll hear from Josh, and then we'll open up the questions to Jordy and then Josh and any remaining questions. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Packers Hall of Fame Incorporated President Tom Conup. Tom, take it away.
Thanks, Aaron. Welcome, everyone. It's a great day for the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame. It's with great excitement that I present the 2023 inductee class, Josh Sitton and Jordy Nelson. Gentlemen, your play on the field spoke for itself. You exemplified professionalism at the highest level, ultimately, as we know, leading to a victory in Super Bowl 45, which was the highlight, I'm sure, one of the highlights of your careers and also a highlight of Packer fans. I would be remiss if I didn't say a thank you to our extremely knowledgeable selection committee for all the hard work they do. It's a very arduous and a very detailed process that we go through when we look at selecting our inductees for the next year's induction class. When your names came up, it was pretty much a unanimous decision by everybody. And I think it shows of your character. It shows of your abilities on the field that puts you in the elite class of the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame. Josh and Jordy, congratulations on being selected as number 167 and number 168 in the elite class of the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame. It is a great honor, and I'm extremely excited, as I said, to welcome you guys to the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Aaron, and we can begin the question period.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Jordy, we'll start off with you. Do you have some thoughts on learning of this honor and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, thank you, Tom, the Packer Hall of Fame, the selection committee, everyone that's involved throughout the whole process. It's obviously extremely humbling and an honor to be inducted or going to be selected to be inducted into the Hall of Fame next summer. And just thinking back over the 10 years in Green Bay, and I think for all of us, when we step on the field or step into that organization, we understand the honor and the privilege it is to wear the G and go out on Lambeau Field and play, but never have in your mind to be in the Hall of Fame. I think we have such a day-to-day grind, a week-to-week grind, and then even year-to-year that we get so locked in on what we're trying to do that it's not until after you're done playing or you receive the phone call that it truly sinks in that it's going to happen. So like I said, it's a great honor. I look forward. It's I think even a better honor now. Josh and I get to go in together as draft classmates, and I think we're both extremely excited. We've already talked a couple of times and figuring things out for August. But honestly, I don't think August 31st can get here soon enough. We're excited about it. We're looking forward to a good time up there, not only at the ceremony, but going to start planning some things probably throughout that weekend to truly enjoy it, see some former players and stuff and former teammates, and really take it in and enjoy it. I think when we play, we don't ever want to talk about our accolades or look back on previous games or previous years. And I know I personally always said, that's for when you're done. So we've been done, and now it's an opportunity to sit back, enjoy that time, and reminisce and remember only the good times. No more bad times here. But thank you again. Yeah, look forward to it.
All right, thanks, Jordy. Josh, we'll turn it over to you and ask the same of you. Thoughts, honors, those sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jordy thanked the right people, the Packers, the whole organization, the Hall of Fame, the selection committee, anybody that has any hand in that. Thank you very much. It's a unbelievably humbling honor. It's something that I've been dreaming about and thinking about since I left my playing days. And I texted one of my coaches this morning and he said, dude, that's no like Detroit Lions Hall of Fame. That's the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. And he was like, you should be unbelievably proud of yourself. And I am. And I'm very thankful to my family, my coaches. You know, you get done, you start thinking about all the people that touched your life to help you along the way. And so many people that had a hand in my success. And I'm so blessed to have all these people, the trainers, the coaches, the support staff, the media at times, you know, everybody that's involved with it. There's so many people. I think there's 400 or 500 people on game day that are at Lambeau. You know, there's so many people that touch your lives that you don't even see. And it's really cool to sit back, like Jordy said, and get a chance to look back and think about all that, and think about all those people, and think about all those successful games and all the times we had. You know, some of the greatest times of my life were on the field with that guy right there. And like he said, it's such an honor to go in with him. You know, 2008 draft class, we retired the same year. It's an honor to be standing up here next to him, because not because how good a football player is, but how good of a guy he is. And it truly means a lot to me, and I am deeply honored. So thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you, Josh. And now we'll open up the questions for Jordy. Members of the media who are on the call, to go ahead and raise your hand, and I will pick you to ask questions. There we go. Got a few in there. We'll start off with Rich Ryman. Rich, go ahead.
Yeah, quick question for each of you. What are you guys doing now?
I am back in Kansas, just north of Manhattan, back where I grew up. I'm 2 miles from the house I grew up in. Out on the farm doing different things, helping coach different sports, coaching my kids through summer sports and basketball, and then also assistant girls basketball coach to my sister, who's the head girls basketball coach at our high school. So staying plenty busy, enjoying Saturdays at K-State games, especially when they win 48-0. Makes for a good time. So enjoying life, yeah, having a good time.
Yeah, so I am also back at home where I grew up, Pensacola, Florida. I own a construction company and a development company, but I'd say mostly I'm a stay-at-home dad with a little bit of business and a lot of tennis and working out. I'm a trophy tennis husband, I think. Pretty much kids, tennis, sports, like Jordy said, and a little business here and there.
All right, thanks to both of you. Now I have Wes Hodkowitz. Wes.
Hey, Jordy, congrats. Hope you and the family are doing well. You touched on, week to week, day to day, with the NFL, but now that you have had a chance to kind of sit back a little bit, what do you remember most about your time in Green Bay? And is there anything that you're most proud of when you look back at that 10-year run?
Man, it's hard to narrow down just certain things, but I think one thing I'm most proud of, and one thing I always tried to strive for, was consistency. Being the same person each and every day, going in and out of that building, same player at the practice field and on Sundays, in meeting rooms, everything. And I think that is what got me to where I am, or where I got to through my career, at all the levels. I think if we look at one individual thing, I personally take a lot of pride in the comeback player of the year season. Not only for myself and what I went through at that time in my career, coming off the year I did the year before, and then having to miss a season, spend same as 12 months in a training room, and having that reward at the end of it was very fulfilling, not only for myself, but for Nate and Flea and all the guys in the training room that put so many hours into that work as well. It was definitely a group effort, and to be able to have a successful season, not only by stats wise, but didn't miss a game, didn't miss a practice that whole year, and then be able to be honored in the way I was at the NFL honors. It was great to be able to share that with those guys.
Thank you, Jordy. Next, we'll go to Marty Hendricks. Marty?
Hey, Josh and Jordy. You each played other places in your career. As you look back, playing the smallest market franchise in Green Bay, what made it so special? What were the pluses? What were the minuses?
Oh man, I think it's very interesting. I think my time in Oakland was not necessarily what I think a lot of people see it as, where we were able to find a place to live. We ran into great connections of friends of a friend that we had in Green Bay. So it still had, as crazy as it seems, it still had a similar feel. We had our small little friend group there. There was horses and cattle and turkeys in my backyard again. So I don't know if it's just me finding those spots to make me feel comfortable.
I think so.
So that still had the same feel, but I think there's a lot of passion in Green Bay, which I was fortunate to go to Oakland, and I think Raider fans are extremely passionate as well. But I think a lot of it's the history and the passion, and then how much it means to them every Sunday. So it's to be a part of that history, like we mentioned earlier, winning a Super Bowl and kind of having our stamp on that forever, not only just being players and being successful, but to bring a championship back, I think is what makes what we were able to do there in, our career so special. To be able to have that, obviously we wish we had more, but to get one is very special.
Josh, your thoughts on the question?
Can you ask it again, please?
Sure. Yeah, you played other places. Love it, Josh. And playing in a small market franchise like Green Bay, what made that special? Pluses and minuses.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I went to Chicago and then Miami, and it's a completely different feel. Just from the smallest things, like everything being right there. And, the longest drive I had in a day was 10 minutes, so even on Sundays, I'm driving just to work, whereas in Chicago, Miami, you got to drive, an hour and a half to get to the stadium. So little things like that make a big difference. And everything is all about football in Green Bay, from the fans to the organization to the players, to everybody. And that culture, that winning culture, is within everybody, and you can tell the difference the second I walked in another place. You can feel a slight difference. The expectation is to win championships in Green Bay, and I mean, from the 5-year-old fan to the president to the coach to the new guy on the team, everybody's expectation is to win championships, and that was the biggest difference that I felt when I went elsewhere. And like Jordy said, I mean, the fans don't get better. Because it's a small town, they got to interact with us all the time. You'd see them out everywhere. So it's that was different. And that, I think, is amazing for the fans, and it makes them just more passionate on Sundays. But yeah, it's definitely a different place. I'm so unbelievably thankful that I got to start my career there, and I got the chance by Ted Thompson and those guys to be drafted there.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Seth from NBC 26. Seth.
Hi, Jordy. Hi, Josh. I just kind of wanted to ask, you kind of touched on this a little earlier, but if you had to have fans remember you in one way, what would be the way that you would want to be remembered?
Josh, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I got that short memory. So, yeah, I think it kind of goes back to the question, like what you're most proud of. Robert. I think the thing that I'm most proud of and what I would want to be remembered by is my ability to be available and my durability on the field and my toughness. I was fortunate enough to avoid injuries and battle through a lot of injuries. You know, I played in, I don't know, 5 or 6 straight seasons at one point. I played like almost every snap. I didn't come out for a stretch there of a long, you know, a lot of games, and I was proud of that. That's one of the things that I was most proud of in my career. And I, you know, battled through a lot, battled through a bad back injury, bad toe injury, shoulders, you know, all sorts of stuff. And, you know, I can look back and say that I was there and I was available, and I can always look at my teammates on Monday and they knew that I was going to be there for them on Sunday and be out there battling. So that's probably what I would say.
Unfortunately, I did miss games, so I can't give that answer. I think it goes back to what I was just the same person day in, day out. If I was on the field in the community, doing different fundraisers and giving back, if it's game day, practice, whatever it was. I think one positive of Green Bay that we didn't mention was that you don't get caught up in the celebrity status of being a professional athlete, and to be able to stay humble through different things and be yourself. And you can be yourself. You don't have to try to run with the actors and actresses or other celebrities. Like, it is just us in there. So the guys in the locker room truly knew who you were, and the people in the community truly knew that. So I think I think both of us, myself, who I was day in and day out, the same guy, no matter what was going on. I think that's how I'd want to be remembered.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Jordy. Any additional questions? All right, Wes, let's go to you.
Hey, Josh, congrats to you as well. You know, you go into the offensive line, you know, there's been several of you guys now, Chad, a couple years back, Tosh, and there's probably gonna be several more here after you. Just when you look back at that time, I know you guys knew how special that group was, but what stands out to you the most, and what did it mean to you to be kind of a all-pro in the midst of a lot of really special players?
Well, I'll tell you, this is what we think about ourselves. We have a group chat that says best Green Bay Packer O-line in history. So that's how we feel about ourselves. But and I would even argue that. But you know, we were pretty darn good, and I think when you look back at how good we were at pass blocking, it's pretty remarkable. You know, Aaron, his signature ability was to run around in the pocket and make plays and throw the ball. And, you know, that would take time, and we were able to hold up, and we were able to pass block, and, you know, we threw the ball 600-700 times a year. And, you know, that it's a toll on you, and it builds up, but we were damn good at it, man. And I was really proud of that. And that group was special. That 2014 group, 2015 with David, myself, Corey, JC was in there, TJ and Balaga. Like, that's a damn good offensive line. And like you said, some of those guys will be coming up here in the next year or two. And I'm really, really proud of that group. And I wouldn't be sitting here without those guys. You know, those guys made it easy for me to play next to them. You know, I was able to take David under my wing and kind of guide him, and we just played seamlessly. Same thing with Brian. Brian was young when in my third year. He was starting in the Super Bowl, and they were just easy to play next to. Same thing with Corey. He came in as a rookie and played and just balled out, and they were just easy to play next to because they were so good. They were so coachable, and they just listened to Coach Campy, and Campy led us, and he was just such an unbelievable coach. He was the first person I called when I found out about this, because I love that guy so much. He did so much for me. So I'm really, really proud of that group. And man, I really would argue that we were the best Packer O-line. And I know Tausch and those guys would argue that the early 2000s, and you argue the 60s guys and all that, but I'd put that group up against anybody.
All right. Thanks, Wes. Now we'll go to Rich Ryman. Rich.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
My mute was going on and off here.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry about that, Rich.
Is there one game that stands out for each of you guys as just one that you have really fond memories of? Probably an easier question for Jordy than for Josh, but I imagine linemen have great games too, right?
Yeah, I'll take that real quick. So there's two games that you wouldn't expect. Like obviously the Super Bowl, obviously the NFC Championship, but two games that I just absolutely loved were games that Matt Flynn was starting. One in Dallas where we came back and won. And I don't know, we were down like, 3 or 4 scores, and somebody gave a halftime speech and we came back and won that game, and it was unbelievable. His whole family was there because he's from Texas. And then the Detroit game in 2011, the last game of the season, he just came in and balled out, and him and I were best friends. So like we had so much fun on the field, and those two games just really stick out to me. They were just fun. I just really, really enjoyed it, and enjoyed seeing Matt go out there and ball out.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, like Josh said, the Super Bowl, NFC Championship game, the whole playoff run, to be honest with you, was kind of surreal because we knew the momentum was coming. I don't think we could have found a more confident team at any point in time, even in whether 2015 when we lost the NFC Championship. I still don't know if we're as confident as we were when we started that playoff run, when we got it done. I had one at Minnesota, 2014 maybe. I don't remember what year it was. Anyway, it was just some crazy throws from Aaron. It was one of those offensive productions that I think when we came in on Monday, they usually hand out a game ball to the offensive and defensive player of the week and special teams, and I think they gave it out to every offensive player. I don't know if we got stopped in one possession. I think we scored touchdowns in every possession. James Starks was running the ball. We were throwing the ball at will. And I think our defense even played great. I think it became a blowout. But just those moments when everything was rolling and clicking, which obviously we could probably list a number of games. Go back to the Atlanta playoff game when things just snowballed and just got way out of control, and just you knew it was a fun time. Everyone was gonna have their part. Everyone was gonna get a little bit of it all, and it snowballed so fast, and we fed off of one another, and everyone was enjoying it.